G'day, welcome to the Chicken Channel. You can hear sizzling away there the beginning of one of the great classic dishes. This is French, it's called Coq Au Vin, which is chicken in wine. And it comes from a region which is famous for its wine, the Burgundy region. And naturally you put the two things together and come up with a classic. It's really simple to do. There's a few little steps, but at the end of the day it's a one-pot dish. And as I said, I've started. Have a look in here. And classically, I've chosen a great oven-proof dish. It's beautiful looking too, so present that at the table in your dish. One whole chicken, which has been completely browned on all sides. No flour, just in a little bit of olive oil to get started, or butter, preferably. And brown every piece, and then remove those pieces. If you have too much fat in here, we'll just remove that. You know, there was a time when all of this fat would be considered too flavoursome to discard, but you know, we do these days. But you do need a little bit left here because we still have to do some more cooking in this particular pan. There we go, enough removed. Now what we're going to do is, if you look closely, I have one clove of garlic finely sliced, okay? Straight in, and on very low heat in the remaining fat, we're just going to slowly let that almost melt. All right, so while that's there, let's have a look at the onions, which are echallots, and the little lardons of bacon. You can see how they're cut. Let's move it across to the chicken, right? And basically, we've got 16 of these little onions and 125 grams of the bacon, which we've done exactly the same way as a chicken, into a pan and cooked off. And the fat that's come out of there is out of the bacon, right? And that's fine. It's part of the flavour of the dish. All right, back on heat. And these mushrooms, we have about 20 of these closed button mushrooms, into the same pan. We'll let those brown separately. Okay, you see what's going on here? Two pans, makes it easier. Time now to really build up this dish. The first thing is a very good cognac if you can afford it, or a brandy, and that can catch on fire in a shallow pan. Evaporate off that liquid, and then half a cup of port, turn the heat up, and half a bottle of a burgundy style wine. There we go. What we're going to do here is really reduce this. It's going to come to a heavy boil and really reduce it, because if you don't do that, your sauce won't look as attractive as it should. So concentrate on this being reduced, and also we'll toss these around until they're brown. Take about 3 or 4 minutes. That reduction of the wine and port, as I said, is quite important. It should be at least down to a third, possibly even less than that. Get going. Right, things we do now, add some of our flavourings. I've got some parsley stalks, some bay leaves, and some fresh thyme. All of those straight in. And we do need a little bit more liquid, and we're using a chicken stock. Only about 1/4 cup, half a cup, because you'll get some moisture from the chicken as well. Chicken straight back in, and I like to actually put the bulk of the meat facing down, right? So into the liquid as much as possible, because that's what's happening. You're getting a transfer of flavour. The chicken into the sauce into the chicken. Time to add the onion and bacon and whatever juices we have there. Black pepper. Lid on, and into a preheated oven at 180 degrees. Straight in. We're cooking this dish for 1.5 hours. But halfway through the cooking, turn the chicken pieces over so they get the same treatment as the other half. And our mushrooms, which have been sautéed, get put in there too. Lid back on, another 45 minutes later, our dish is ready. I said 180 degrees, it's actually 150 degrees, okay? Halfway through, in with the mushrooms and turn the chicken over. That looks fantastic. I'm not showing you. So good. Okay, and have a look. Isn't that great? The reason I put it back on the heat is because I'm going to thicken that sauce. The best way to do that is remove the chicken pieces. Most people think of chicken as being a meat you classically have with white wine. You can see clearly here that's not the case. Look at the way it's been stained, that wonderful colour. Absolute classic dish, this. And I still say the best way to serve this is in the pot. So choose one that you're happy to put on the table, something that you can prevent it from burning the table, put some wooden thing down, whatever it takes. Okay. To thicken, we've got about 1.5 tablespoons of butter and roughly the same of flour. And with a spoon, just mashing this together. It's called burgundy, and basically the French use it a fair bit as a thickening type. It's like a roux, except the roux is cooked off first. All right, so there we have just a little butter paste like this. And over here to our pot, on the heat, just stir it in. And as you stir that in, you don't get the clumps of flour because it's been separated by the butter. Stir it through, it's thickening slightly. Could probably use a little bit more. And the butter enriches it too. Just what it needs, another French bit of enriching. Straight in, stir it through, very important to stir it through. Now with any flour going into a recipe like this for a sauce, it's important that you simmer this for 3 minutes. Otherwise the flour can taste a bit floury, right? After 3 minutes the flour granules actually break and you can't taste it as being floury. You can add your parsley to this, check for seasoning, and nestle your chicken pieces back in. Nothing like a classic. The reason they're a classic is they actually have fantastic flavour. And especially in winter, colder months, nothing warms the cockles of the heart than a one-pot chicken dish. There we have it. Chicken Coq Au Vin.